The set was quiet in the early morning. Soft light slipped through the tall studio windows, touching the floor like a calm beginning to a long day. Cast and crew slowly arrived, some carrying coffee, others reviewing scripts. It was just another filming day, but for many fans who followed every small detail, this place held countless moments that felt almost magical. Among the people walking onto the set were two actors whose chemistry had already captured millions of hearts, Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu. They greeted the crew warmly, as they always did. Barış had a relaxed smile, the kind that made people feel comfortable instantly. Elçin arrived a few minutes later, holding her script and greeting everyone with her calm and friendly energy. Nothing unusual could be seen from the outside. Yet fans often believed that something special existed in the quiet space between them. Their story, at least the one fans imagined, was never loud or dramatic. It lived in small moments, glances that lasted just a second longer than usual, gentle smiles that appeared without explanation, the kind of things only attentive people notice. That morning, rehearsals began for a scene that required emotional focus. The director explained the tone carefully while the actors listened. Barış leaned slightly forward, concentrating on every instruction. Elçin stood nearby, quietly reviewing her lines. When rehearsal started, the atmosphere changed. The two actors stepped into their characters effortlessly. Their dialogue flowed naturally, as if they had known each other's rhythm for years. Crew members watched silently, appreciating how smooth the performance felt. During a short break, something simple happened. Barış was reading through the script again when Elçin walked over, pointing to a line in the scene. They started discussing the emotion behind the moment. It was just professional conversation, but their expressions showed genuine respect for each other's ideas. He listened carefully while she explained her thoughts. Then he smiled. Not a big dramatic smile, but the kind that quietly says, "That's a good idea." Elçin smiled back. Nearby crew members barely noticed the exchange, but fans later analyzing behind-the-scenes clips would pause at moments like this. To them, these tiny interactions carried warmth that felt real. As filming continued, the two actors shared several scenes together. Each time the director called action, their connection appeared effortless. Their timing was perfect, their reactions natural. The director even joked once, "You two don't need many takes." Everyone laughed, but there was truth behind the comment. Their ability to understand each other's acting style made every scene feel smooth. Some actors take months to build that kind of rhythm, yet Barış and Elçin seemed to have it from the start. Later that afternoon, another quiet moment happened. The crew prepared lighting adjustments, giving the actors a few minutes to rest. Barış sat on a nearby chair while checking something on his phone. Elçin walked past, heading toward the makeup area. For a brief second, their eyes met. It was nothing dramatic, just a natural moment between colleagues. Still, there was a softness in the way they acknowledged each other, a silent understanding that fans often described as instant energy. One crew member once mentioned during an interview that both actors brought positive energy to the set. They were respectful, hardworking, and always supportive of their colleagues. Those qualities made their partnership even stronger. As the sun began setting outside the studio, filming for the day slowly wrapped up. The director announced the final scene, and everyone prepared for one last take. The scene required a calm, emotional tone. No loud drama, no heavy movement. Just quiet dialogue and meaningful expressions. When the camera rolled, Barış delivered his lines with a steady voice. Elçin responded gently, her performance carrying warmth and sincerity. For a few seconds after the director said cut, the room stayed silent. It was one of those takes that simply felt right. The director nodded with satisfaction. Crew members exchanged approving looks. Moments like that were the reason audiences loved watching them together. After filming ended, the cast slowly packed up. Some people headed home immediately, while others stayed to chat for a few minutes. Barış thanked several crew members before picking up his jacket. Elçin was finishing a conversation with the costume team. As she walked toward the exit, Barış held the door open for her. "Good work today," he said casually. "You too," she replied with a small smile. It was a simple exchange. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that would make headlines. But sometimes the most meaningful moments are the quietest ones. And for fans who admired their connection, these small interactions felt like hidden pieces of a larger story. A story built on respect, comfort, and an energy that seemed to appear naturally whenever they shared the same space. No one on the set tried to define it. No one needed to. Because sometimes, a connection doesn't need explanation. Sometimes people simply feel it. And that feeling was exactly what fans around the world believed they saw whenever Barış Arduç and Elçin Sangu appeared together. Their story, at least in the eyes of those watching closely, was only beginning to reveal its quiet and mysterious moments.